So you are the zone export manager of Triangle Company.
Well, we are, in fact, we are now three export manager. I am in charge of northern, eastern part and Greece and Italy.
Great.
Just to be connected with a little bit of Mediterranean people.
Mediterranean people, exactly. The first question would be, how do you see the high-end market developing in the year 2010? Are there certain innovations in the market regarding, of course, speakers?
Yeah, but of course I will talk about, first of all, about Triangle, because in fact we launched an update of the Magellan line, which is our best and exclusive high-end line. So our engineer team made improvements because we are always aware about all the little details that we can improve on all our lines. And on Magellan it was a kind of achievement of our research about materials, about technical that we can use, and also the finishes that we consider that in the high-end it's only in hi-fi stuff. We consider that it's also a luxury good and luxury product that each final end user will afford themselves. So that's why now we are able to propose special finishes on demand. For instance, if you want a Magellan product in, for instance, red Ferrari or whatever what you want, or a kind of color that you really especially looking for, now we are able to provide that to you and to all our clients. So it's all these final details which count a lot.
Are you looking to provide any new future technology in the speakers, or have you already reached your maximum level of improvement for this year?
I can tell that the news of this month of October, we have, in fact, news because we are celebrating our 30th anniversary. So now the first speakers designed by Renaud de Vergnet, the creator of Triangle, happened in October 1980. So the company is, in meantime, is quite old and young, but we, in some way, we managed to improve all the materials that we are using in our speakers, all the different kind of drivers, because I have to remind that Triangle is designing, minding and engineering all the small details which is taking part of the Triangle speakers. We don't use any generic elements from any supplier. We all making and designing everything in our speakers.
Do you still prefer the speakers to be large and with internal drivers as far as the size is concerned?
Well, of course size, but if you notice well that Triangle speakers are elegant and not so large. We don't use, 30 centimeters bass drivers only for perhaps for subwoofer. At maximum for the Magellan line it doesn't exceed 20 centimeters. So it gives some elegant and thin shapes on our speakers, because we always minded that the speakers must be a furniture at entirely part in the living room. We don't, and of course, especially for women, they don't have to, after that, to set up their living room around the speakers, but the speakers must be integrated in the most natural way. And one of the aspects that Triangle speakers, we don't want that we suffer about the mode aspect. That if you buy something now, it will fit always with all the furniture that we're going to have in 10 or 15 years. So this is our also key point or main target, to provide, of course, high technology inside our speakers, good value for the money. I think that's especially good if I'm talking about not only value but musical value for the money that the client purchasing for themselves.
A value for money
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
equation, yes.
Usually, I must say that our speakers have been by the past usually in some magazine which are really like to do some cross test between 2 or 3 speakers, but sometimes with different level of money, and triangle speakers has always been good. We always get some good rewards about that.
What would you suggest would be the best equipment to match your speakers? Would you suggest a certain technical type or maybe a certain brand? I don't know
Well,
if this is against your policy, but I'm just...
No, well, I must say that we don't have, how to say that, I don't, I'm not afraid to tell about what can match good or not. I know that, you know,
also
with some exhibition.
Regarding tubes or CDs in a sense?
Well, I must say that triangle speakers has transparent and a good speaker that you can attend to. So it meaning that you can use all kind of electronics, I mean tubes, solid state amplifier, lots of kind of wires. I must say that everything's just perhaps to explain you that in our factory we usually change the electronics, and sometimes we can buy to this supplier or to this brand, and we have also the chance when we are making some exhibition to make some partnerships with other brands, just to connect some electronics, to have a good surprise, and it's always a pleasure for us to discover our speakers with other electronics. And just to make perhaps an analogy with that, we can consider that it's like, you know, for final end users like you or our retailer or shops, it's like we are making Formula 1 with our speakers. We just provide the car or the exclusive Formula 1 high-end products, and after that it's the client or the retailer to drive it, to know how it can function or matching in the best way for the clients.
What would you consider to be the best advice to give someone to choose your company? No, just say again. How would you justify?
No, I see what you want to.
Yes, I'm just trying to express για το πώς θα διαλέξει από 500.
Ναι, ας το πούμε ότι if you have to choose from 500 speakers, why someone...
Αυτό θέλω να πω. This is what I want to say. Right, okay. The market of the speakers is a huge market, of course.
Yeah,
there are
sure.
more than 500 companies providing some good stuff for the potential customers. So I would have to ask you, how would you persuade a client to choose Triangle? Would it be technical or quality?
No, you know what? I think it's
value for money based.
Well, perhaps I just have. It will be. It's a question which is bringing lots of explanation. That's of course I will not persuade to buy triangle speakers by telling everything. It's only the ears of the client which will choose. And in Triangle Company we don't have the pretension to make the best speakers of the world. We just have the pretension to make the speakers that's delivering the emotion of music. And if the client is not sensitive to this reproduction, we're not going to persuade him. But in some way, you're really right when you're telling that there is lots of brands. I think that's in the speakers company there is around 2,000 or 3,000, and each day there is also a new brand arriving on the market. But what can make it really exclusive and really different Triangle speaker? That's like I already explained. That everything is made by ourselves. It's not a huge company. It's a familiar size of company. We are only 27 people, including every department. Research and development, logistical, secretary, and also commercial part. So we all working in the same aim and the same passion that we involving ourselves in the company, and we want that our speakers get this some kind of emotion and yeah, and I must say that Triangle, it's also really different. The sound is different because it's opened, wide, and lots of energy. We want to get the musical emotion coming from the live, and a live concert like. And that's why when you're listening to your Triangle speakers, you will perhaps discover lots of details that on all the different speakers you will never listen to.
I'm sure there are many good reasons for someone to choose Triangle, obviously. It goes without saying. Finally, can I ask you for the future moves of the company in this market for the next years? Would it be a new innovation? Would it be new items? Or
well, perhaps you well noted that music and the way to listen to music always moving and changing, that there is a new way to consume music, that CD player will always exist, and in the same time there is also the comeback of turntables, LP, and I think that perhaps 10 years or 15 years ago nobody will bet that in some country retailers, hi-fi retailers, will sell much more turntables than CD player. And now arriving all the digital technology, streaming, streamers, and hard disk, and iPod, and everything like that. And also the way to consume via all the websites that you can, for instance, Spotify, Deezer. It's a kind of way to share music with all people. So it's mean that what? It's mostly electronic brands which will be concerned by this evolution. Clients, if they want good music, on the final end of this chain, they will always need good speakers. I'm convinced about that. But in the meantime, we are convinced that to propose or to be able to deliver and to provide a complete solution, maybe some active speakers with wireless, with Bluetooth connection, with iPhone. Maybe it could be something really interesting for the future.
Why not? We will definitely be anticipating to see your new products in the following years. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for being with us.
It will be a pleasure.
And hope to see you soon in Greece.
Okay, me either. Thank you for your attention.